Hi friends, I'm Missy and welcome back to my channel, Private of Prose. Today I am coming at you with my best books so far in 2020. I honestly cannot believe that it's July. Like, this year has been crazy. We all can justify that. But then how fast time can go when it's so crazy kind of blows my mind too. Because it's not like we're doing a ton of things, especially outside of our houses, but time still flies, I guess, when you're having fun, right? I've done quite a bit of reading. I looked today, I am 94 books into my goal of 150, so I'm 62% in, which means I'm doing pretty good, tracking right along where I should be a little over 50% at that June mark, so I'm doing good. So I thought it would be a good time to just kind of do a little catch up and see what's been my favorites so far and what I think, you know, if these are going to hold true for the rest of the year, if I think some of them are going to get bumped out. So let's start. In no order, these have been my like ultimate favorites, most feels this year so far. So the first one I've talked about a lot lately, but that's Felix Ever After. Felix was born in a female body, but as he's growing up, he's realizing that he doesn't feel like a female and brings up to his father that he would like to transition to a male. So Felix goes through the transitions, surgery, is doing, you know, the hormone shots, and living as a boy now. And the book is a very in-depth view inside of Felix's mind, with Felix's point of view as he's going through school, dealing with being transgendered, but also maybe feeling that he's maybe non-binary or can be both male and female, like really trying to figure out his identity and if that needs to be named, as well as navigating love and school and life in general in New York City. I love the writing itself is beautiful. The setting is so cool. I love New York. I think, especially coming from a small town in the middle of Minnesota, like the speed and life and colors of New York have always just amazed me. And I just thought that the book was so well done and so educational on so many levels, not only about sexuality, but racism and just the biases in general. You know, being a rich white kid, how differently you're treated and the things you get. So I really, really enjoyed this book. Thought it was great. Thought it was a very detailed look into somebody's mind that is different than me. And this year is really about opening my mind and experiencing things that are different than my everyday life and the person, the gender, the race that I was born in, so that I can see outside of myself and grasp and educate myself, so that I can just be a better, well-rounded, more understanding and kind person. The next one that I loved is actually a set of 3, and that is the Heartstopper volumes 1 through 3. I ate these up. They're graphic novels about a boy who is gay, and then he starts a friendship with this other boy who starts to realize that he may have feelings for the boy and has to kind of come to terms with his sexuality and the fact that he may be bisexual. And it's just so heartwarming and sweet. It's got some really big topics in it, like eating disorders and bigotry and homophobia, and it was so well done. I want to own all 3 of them because I think it would be a really good book to just get back into, like a comfort book, and the characters are just so cute and I just want to snuggle them. The next one is gonna sound funny because I know like a couple on this list are like people's, you either hate them or you love them kind of a thing. And I loved the House of Earth and Blood, so the Crescent City #1 by Sarah J. Maas. I think I loved it because of the time period I was reading it. We were at the beginning of quarantine. A lot was going on, and this book was a place for me to escape. It was a whole new world. I really liked the characters. You know, there's always books that people can find faults in, and yes, it was a little slower at the beginning, but I still really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the side characters and the little beasts and the different, you know, the angels and the fae and vampires, and you know, like all the things. So I don't even know if there was vampires now that I say that. But I just thought I really liked it. I thought it was a new take, and it was like, it got me into some adult fantasy and realized that I don't need to be scared of it, which led me to reading The Priory of the Orange Tree, and I loved this book. I was talking to another friend the other day about some of the reasons that she didn't necessarily love it, and it's funny, I'm very character driven more than plot. So if I love the characters and fall in love with the characters, I can easily give a story 5 stars. And I really delved in the characters, really loved them. So this was a 5-star book for me. She, on the other hand, is more driven by the plot. So the plot holes and the times they kind of jump to things, which I totally understand and totally get, really bugged her. So it's definitely interesting how you can love certain things about the book and like let other things slide, where other things are so much more important to other people, which is why books are just so amazing and can be loved and hated at the same time. So I love that. And the fact that we're friends, you know, we're internet friends, but like we're friends and we can talk about it and understand each other's differences. And I love that about BookTube and people that just really are open-minded and kind, and that's the person that I want to be daily. That's the person that I strive to be every day, to be able to understand like both sides and still accept that maybe you didn't love it, but I can love it, and vice versa. And that got on a soapbox. And then the last one that got another 5-star for me so far this year is Station 11. I loved this book when I read it when it came out a couple years ago, and now reading it during a pandemic, feeling the feelings of fear and confusion and like just the unknown was so interesting to have that perspective. And I'm one of those people that like I was taking solace in reading books like this. I know like Ariel Bissett felt like that too. She was reading a lot of quarantine books, or pandemic books too, and so I just loved it. But Emily St. John Mandel is amazing. I just read her other book, The Glass Hotel, too, and her writing blows me away. The way she can connect her stories and her characters and her prose. Oh, it's so good. But Station 11 was just such a fun book to me, to have like the main characters during or after a pandemic be a traveling Shakespeare company and like people living in an airport. Oh, just I loved it. So if you're that type of person that is also finding comfort in books that kind of are going through what we're going through, that one was amazing. So those are some of my favorites so far from the beginning of 2020. I really hope that there's going to be some more favorites that come in during the ends, because we got a lot of time left for 2020 and a lot of still staying safer, staying home, and reading some more. I would love it if you subscribe below and join the Priory, and I will see you in my next video.